Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This here is a Legends inspired Black Series video today. I bought these two on Amazon a couple of months ago now. I'm only just getting around to them now. This here is Starkiller and Legends Leia. The box does just say Princess Leia. Rest assured she is a comics variant. Starkiller here is using the traditional style box that we know and love, though word on the street says that this is changing soon. Whereas Leia here has a really cool comic style box art with an opening door. It sold me immediately. The reason I bought these two was mainly just for this guy here. I just recently played through the two games again, and I really wanted a Starkiller for my gaming shelf. The figure was released in this amazing deluxe box set sold only through Hasbro's store, and they don't ship to me. I saw a guy online trying to flip that set for 350 NZD or something crazy like that, and then I saw that Amazon Australia was saying that it's $35 NZD for just the Starkiller if you like, and yeah, I said sure. Those games meant quite a lot to me when I was a kid, and I do have some great gaming figures already from the Black Series line. I love covering video game toys here on this channel, so here we are. I thought it'd be cool to have all of these guys here representing different Star Wars games and hanging out together. Leia was bought so that I could qualify for free shipping on the order. That's about it. She was down to $16 on the deepest clearance that I've seen in quite a while, because I think EB Games had these comic book figures priced at 60 NZD. Hello, scratch that. While I was editing this, I looked it up. She's actually currently on sale, but for $40. Originally she was priced at 80 NZD. That's just ridiculous. You can imagine my excitement then when I found her for so cheap. I actually planned on buying her when she was clearanced to around $36 a couple of years ago now, maybe around the Christmas time. Instead, I went with the A New Hope Leia because she was also on clearance for $19. I really loved this one a lot though, but the $19 price was more appealing than spending $36. I wanted to see what she would look like alongside the other Leia figures that I have in my collection. Let's get into it. Galen is pretty interesting. It's really hard to ignore those missing features here though. Because I know there is a deluxe set out there with some amazing accessory inclusions, it's a little hard to see a standalone figure packaged with practically nothing of what made him so special in those country exclusive packs. The face likeness here is a little off. It's not too bad from a couple of angles, but this definitely could be better. Hasbro do tend to do this quite a lot though, in my opinion. They've never really been solid on actor likenesses. The coolest feature here that this guy represents is all that blood that's been painted on him. It's minimal here, but he's got this long streak on his arm that's just rad as hell. And the games aren't that bloody either, but I do remember it was a very key part in the marketing for The Force Unleashed back in the day. He's got multiple lightsaber clips on his belt, 4 different slots, which I think must be a reference to his Sith look at the end of the game. I've got this 3-pack from years ago on Starkiller light side and dark side variants. There's also a Sith version of him and a bunch of lightsabers that were attached to him. I think he keeps the sabers from Fallen Jedi as trophies. Nice details all throughout as well, as should be expected for figures like this. His articulation is the basic articulation of Hasbro action figures. We got some movements in the head and the arms and areas like his elbows and wrists. One thing that I don't like here, I can just feel that his torso is broken on mine. That torso, it won't turn on the joint. I can feel that if I twist it, I'm twisting the actual joint connector itself. He will definitely break if I continue to do this, and I don't think I can return this figure this late into the game either for being faulty. Sometimes, I guess you just kind of lose. Otherwise, he has some bends in the legs and knee, and for the standing test here, he stands pretty well, pretty easy to be messing around with. His only accessory included is his lightsaber. It is a new one though. Looks like his kyber crystal is exposed, which I think is pretty cool. I've noticed that some of the Jedi and Sith figures lately have pretty loose hands when it comes to holding their lightsabers though. Now since this is going to be used for display, it's not too bad. I'm not that bothered by this, but I thought toy companies were making it clear here that they make toys for play more than display, so this is a concern for me. He can hold it, just takes a little bit of effort. He's okay, I like him, and I'm glad that I have a Starkiller for my collection, just for like nostalgic reasons, but I wish I didn't know about the much better deluxe set with all those amazing Force accessories and the extra ugly expression and the lightsaber changes as well. Also, the fact that I'm pretty confident that my figure is busted doesn't really help my scale here either. I'm trying to remind myself that this is an uncommon issue. It's not something that everyone should be going through, so ignoring that, I still think it's a decent figure for my display. He'll look pretty good amongst the other gaming figures. Now, Leia on the other hand is awesome. That cape is not a soft material. I go back and forth on hard capes and soft capes on which ones I prefer. The cape is apparently reused from Padme from Attack of the Clones. I really like that face likeness here personally. It's pretty shiny and she does look look annoyed like most of the Leia action figures, but this is a better face likeness compared to the other ones that I have. I knew that she felt familiar to me, and I learned this is the Hoth body on her, and the comic that she's based on does take place between Empire and Jedi. It's a cool reuse here because she does sport different gloves and boots and a cool little gun harness which can hold her small handgun nice and easy. Her head is also on a standard ball joint, so I am convinced that you could remove it and take off the cape if you really wanted to, but I don't like breaking my toys right after I've opened them. Articulation wise, it's pretty decent. Her cape is going to interfere with all of your movements that you want towards the back. I noticed though that her waist stops like halfway here. I just really can't get any good movements here besides that. No complaints otherwise though. And for her standing test, Leia stands perfectly fine. Accessories, there is a small gun and a big gun, and both of these have been reused from countless other figures. She holds the small one like so, but I prefer to have guns like that in the holsters if the opportunity is given. I just think she looks cooler posed with the bigger gun. And here she is compared to the other Princess Leias in my collection. She's definitely better than the Force Awakens Leia. She's about on par with the Return of the Jedi Leia in my eyes as far as the kind of likeness goes. Force Awakens figure was made a lot earlier than these two though, so definitely needs some redoing. Compared to her A New Hope variant of Leia, these were the two figures that I had to go back and forth on at the time, so it's great that I can actually have them both in hand. Leia's really cool. I'm a big fan of this figure. She looks great amongst the other heroes, and I think she's going to be my favorite variant of her now in the Black Series line. And that's it for my video here on some Legends figures in the Star Wars Black Series line. Galen's cool enough to be on my shelf. I'm happy with that. Leia is fabulous for me though, and definitely the standout favorite here. The ideal look that I had in mind for a definitive Leia from the original trilogy era of figures. Thank you very much everyone for watching. I hope to see you all next time.